Hello, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to go ahead and talk about the Witcher 3 upgrade on the PC. So a lot of people are asking me in the comments section about different types of graphics cards being able to run this. All I know is I've got a 3080. Right now I'm at 1440p with settings maxed out, and I'm right now at this very moment at 59 frames a second. 60 frames a second on 1440p max. This is pretty much a 60 FPS experience. I don't know why Riva Tuna or MSI Afterburner's not working to give me the frame rate counter on this for some reason. I'm kind of new to PC, so I don't really know. But according to the GeForce one, now I'm at 50 frames. So it's pretty much at like 50 frames a second. When I tried this on my 4K OLED, I was a little over 50 or 30 frames a second, like 30-40-ish. When I turn off the ray tracing, because this is max ray tracing, everything is on max ray tracing right now. So when I turn off the ray tracing and all of that stuff, then I am up to 100 frames a second at 1440p and over 60 at 4K. So, I mean, you're still getting pretty decent frame rate. Now, when you're talking about a 20 series card, like a 2060 or 2070 or something, I don't want to like crush your dreams and be like, yeah, you're not going to be able to get very much, but it is kind of heavy, guys. Like this is kind of a heavy update for this game, and my goodness, it's worth it though. So worth it. So worth it. The visuals on this are so beautiful. To tell you the truth, if you wanted to play this game, I would pretty much lock it to 30 frames a second if you're gonna do the ray tracing on anything under 3080, because I have the 3080 10 gig with a 5800X, and I'm getting pretty much a 60 FPS experience with ray tracing maxed out. Like, it feels like a 60 FPS experience most of the time. I have seen it go all the way down into the 40s, like it's 46 right now when you start getting into the wooded area. Like that, for some reason, really tanks the frame rate and drops it.
Place of power. It's got
really drops it to about 45 frames a second. So we're one of those things where, like, as long as you're out in the open areas and stuff, it's pretty much a 60 FPS experience. But it does go all the way down to okay, like I got that. I don't really need the thing on there. Yeah, so right now I'm at 60 frames, but when I get up there in the wooded areas, right when I start going into them, it starts to go into the 40s. And this is a pretty heavy update. The vegetation and everything has been greatly updated as well. We're gonna go ahead and meditate till like daytime, so that the video's not super duper dark, because it's already getting pretty dark. We'll go ahead and get out here. So yeah, for the most part, this is a 60 FPS experience, except for when you start getting into the wooded areas. There's just so much vegetation now that it kind of tanks the performance a little bit. And this is it ultra settings. You go down to let's see how high it looks. Video, if you go graphics to, because once you hit just like RT, it's going to give you just the global illumination, and everything else is gone. Like all the rest of it. And then your frame rate looks like my frame rate is going to stay around 60, even going in the wooded areas. Yeah, so about 57, 55, 57 frames a second being in here in the wooded areas now. So that's definitely, just by taking those off, I'm getting almost 20 frames back. I'm getting about 20 frames, anywhere from 15 to 20 frames back. So let's go back in there, turn on all of that again. Now there is going to be another day one patch for this as well. So I'll retest it after that and see what everything else is on. But if we go down here and we go to, say, performance. Let's go to performance on the DLSS. I love how Garrett's here. Okay, so on performance, let's see what this does for me. So keeping everything on in performance, that is keeping me right around the same so yeah, this is essentially like turning off all the ray tracing and staying, like, DLSS is working pretty decently here. DLSS is keeping me up into a higher frame rate for sure. Come on, man, I don't really care about the thing. Okay, we got to turn off the freaking we got to turn off the tutorials. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, that's gonna annoy me. These tutorials on there. Tutorial, why? Oh my gosh, we'll just go in there and do it. Character. Oh my gosh, man, why did I get... Alright, cool. There we go, got it. That'll leave us alone. So this is giving me more of a consistent 60 FPS with it in performance mode. Yeah, see, I'm up in the 70s now with it in performance mode. So, depending on the level of DLSS you use, it might help a lot. So, if we go back into video, we go into graphics again. If we go down to DLSS and we go super performance, let's see what that will do for us. And let me just tell you, like, the super performance starts to look a little bit fuzzy. Starts to look a little bit fuzzy, but you're well into the 70s. Well into the 70 FPS range. Yeah, like this. I mean, this is still playable. I'm on a 1440p screen. It still looks playable. But you can tell, like, the visuals have been, like, you can tell the visuals are definitely lower. They're not as sharp. They're not as crisp. You know, but you still got your ray tracing, all of that stuff. So that's just going to be like a personal preference. If you've got to have frame rate, 77 frames a second, 74 frames a second while playing with all the ray tracing and everything enabled, in my opinion, that's not too bad. And to tell you the truth, because my screen is G-Sync, so I have the G-Sync like VRR or whatever, and I just go into quality, and even that, like, it still feels smooth no matter what. Even though I'm like in the 50s and in the 40s and stuff, like, it's so beautiful that I just don't know if I would want to I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd want to leave that beauty on the table. Even at 30 frames a second, I don't know, man. Like, this is a tough one. But I'm glad that the option's there, and it looks like DLSS is definitely doing its job. The lower the level, the more FPS you get, and you still get to retain all your visual stuff, like all the ray tracing and everything is still there, it's still present. But it does look a little bit fuzzy on ultra performance. But that's something that you're gonna have to decide if you want all those frames, or if just going to performance or maybe even balanced will do it for you. Balanced was giving me a pretty stable 60 FPS. Quality gives me a 60 FPS that will drop in the wooded areas. So pretty much not too bad. Performance is pretty decent for what this game has to offer. I haven't been to Novigrad just yet. So I can't really tell you how it's going to perform in a big setting, but out here in the woods on ultra, even right now I'm just at 55, so 56, and it still feels like a 60 FPS experience. Like, it still feels pretty dang good. So I don't know, man. Performance is gonna be interesting. I wish I could get that Riva Tuner thing going, or MSI Afterburner, so that I could show you the frame rate on here. But I think it might be something because of the way I had to get into this game. It maybe it's like blocking it or something. I don't know exactly what's going on. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now with this. So if you're rocking a graphics card, the only thing I can tell you is just try everything, because everything's maxed out. Everything's maxed out, and I'm still getting, a playable frame rate. Even at 4K, I was, getting above 30 frames a second. So that's pretty good. I'm getting about, I would say the performance is a little bit better, like a lot better. Well, definitely better than what I was getting in Cyberpunk 2077 with all the ray tracing and everything. So I feel like the performance on this, for being a third-person game, a third-person action open-world game with lots of vegetation, I feel like performance is pretty dang solid for what you're getting. For the visual upgrades and everything that you're getting in this game, I definitely feel like this is pretty dang good for the hardware that I have right now. So, alright guys, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this. I really appreciate your support. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.